Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're in person, whether you are online, whether you are watching the recording afterwards. It just like warms our heart that there are people who are equally as excited to be a part of this show as we are. This show feels like a big deal, not only because it is a beautiful, 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 heartwarming story. It's part of our 60th anniversary. And we finally get to do this show because it was part of a season that got canceled due to COVID. And so that was very sad. So thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your schedule. Tonight, you'll have an opportunity to meet everybody if you don't know everybody or re-meet us. You'll get to hear from the artistic staff about their vision for the show, their hopes and dreams and desires, how to have a successful audition. You'll get to ask all the questions that your heart desires, hear a little bit about what it means to be cast in a production. And then if you have not booked your audition, well, you can even do that this evening with Sherry. So let's get underway. If you don't know me, I'm Shannon. I'm one of the producers.
And I'm Sherry. I'm the other co-producer.
I'm Janie and I'm the executive producer.
I'm Amanda. I'm the stage manager.
Dot, director.
Yay!
And the sucking up has begun.
Phil, music?
I'm Vic. I'm one of the assistant directors.
And online,
Janet, choreographer and assistant director.
and Luke is also online, and Luke is our rehearsal and show pianist and will be shadowing the auditions. So yeah, that is the part of the team. There's a whole other production team who aren't here, but they are equally fabulous.
But Janet, the info desk. Anybody is.
All right, so let's turn it over to the creative.
Excellent. So just to get us started, I know Man of No Importance is not a show that perhaps everybody knows really well. So I'm just going to go through a little bit about what the show is about and what we think the themes of it are about. We're going to talk about some of the characters. We're going to talk about some of what our show is going to look like. So you can make your decisions. And then we're going to jump into how to have a successful audition. So first of all, this show at its heart is really about community. It's how we build community, what it means to belong, why we need other people. But it's also very much about art, why we make it, what it gives to us, and how creating something together brings people together and brings people into our lives, people we might have not otherwise met. So those two themes are worked through a show about this lovely, quite ordinary man, Alfie Byrne. He is a bus conductor in 1960s Dublin. He's a bit of a poetry lover. He reads poetry to the people on his bus every day. He worships Oscar Wilde. And he is also the founder of the St. Imelda's Players, which is a lovely little community theater group. He's deeply loved in his community, but Alfie has a secret. He is a gay man in 1960s Dublin, and saying that out loud could have devastating consequences in that time and place. So Alfie has found another way to create a life for himself. So he's built a family through art. So St. Imelda's Players gives him friendship and companionship and love and kindness. And it's somewhere where he can express the parts of himself that he can't express elsewhere. The St. Imelda's Players are a wonderful band of misfits. And you recognize them. If you do community theater, they are those archetypes. There's the grand leading lady, the actor who thinks every role should be his, the people who adore the director, the people who complain about everything but show up and do their thing. They bicker, they gossip, they complain, they roll their eyes at each other, but they are each other's people. One example, if you've read the thing, there's a character called Mrs. Grace, and she's that grand dame who's played every leading lady since the beginning of time. And everyone in the Players can complain about Mrs. Grace, but heaven help an outsider who says something about her. So because they will come to her defense because they are her community. So we can complain, but you can't. So, anybody who's been a part of a community theater knows how close-knit a family you build through a show. And even though these characters are people that you recognize, are, you know, those archetypes, there's more to them in this show. We get to see their humanity, what they need from each other, their disappointments, their fears, their prejudices, their loyalties, their capacity for love. And so this community that Alfie has built is tested. So when Alfie's secret collides with what he's built, we get to the questions at the heart of the story. So what happens when people who love us discover something they don't understand? Can communities survive discomfort? Can people change? Can love be bigger than fear and prejudice? What does it mean to accept the whole person, not just the parts we're comfortable with? And why does this story matter at this time? There's so much going on in the world, and so many people are at each other. And it's a story about finding a common ground, even when you don't understand something, knowing that you know this person and you love this person, and that is enough. And that's what this story is about. And, you know, in very many ways, we are the St. Imelda's players, because that's why we're here. We're here because we want to build a community together. We want to build a piece of art together. And through that, we'll get to know each other. We will support each other. We will create friendships. We will create lifelong relationships. And that's why we're here. And that's what this show is about. So I put a bunch of words. So I said, through the story, I want us to say it's about belonging, art, courage, love, families we create for ourselves, and the extraordinary importance of seemingly ordinary people. So, a man of no importance. The show is a show within a show. The St. Imelda's players are basically telling the tragedy of Alfie Byrne. And so we're going to embrace the theatricality of the show. The entire production, as far as we're concerned, it takes place in the social hall at St. Imelda's Church. So when people walk in, everything that we need for the show, with the exception of costumes, we're not going to change on stage. At least that nice. But all of the props, all of the furniture will already be in that space. And everything that we're going to use throughout the show will be there. And people who are in the show will actually be moving it around. We're not going to be hiding that, because we want to see the players pushing this story forward. If you are unfamiliar, I know nobody in this room is, but I don't know about online. Our theater is a thrust stage. So there are people on 3 sides, and it is a very intimate space. The front row is actually on stage level with you, and you can be as close as Miguel and I are. So it's an intimate space. So everything that we do needs to be grounded in a real truth. Even when we're going over the top, even when we're being a little crazy, everything has to be believable and have more than one dimension to it, or else our audience is not going to jump in there with us. And because they're so close, it's like they're in the social hall with us, telling the story along with us. Now, hopefully they won't try and join in, but who knows? Who knows? I make no promises. What else? The other thing to know is in our production, the band will be on stage. They will be a part of the production. As far as I'm concerned, they are part of the St. Imelda's players. Although hopefully in real life, a little bit more talented than our players might be, who are a little bit more community theater. But we find that gives us a real, it creates a real support system between the actors and the band. And also, the music in this show is so interwoven. It is not like, oh, we sing a song and now there's 10 pages where we don't have a song. If you're in the room, you can see Miguel is doing both Anything Goes and A Man of No Importance. And everybody thinks Anything Goes is a huge show. Well, it's the tiny score. The big score is A Man of No Importance, because the music in the show does not stop. So that's why the band is going to be with you on stage, so that you guys have a really nice byplay and a really great support and back and forth. We did this with Sondheim on Sondheim, and it made it for a really beautiful, connected show. So the theater itself, like I said, where everything is in the social hall, but of course, we're going to try and create those spaces a little bit. So with lighting, we will do things like when we're in Alfie's house, there'll be a gobo that's specific to Alfie's house. For the streets of Dublin, there's a plan to have some gas lights that are actually in the upper level, so those can come on as the other lights go down and you get that glow of being outside on a street. We are going to have beautiful stained glass windows all around the theater that can light. It's going to be quite beautiful. But light is going to be the thing that gives us place and time. Our wonderful, for those who know Emma Hislop, she's taking on a different role this time. She's actually lighting this show, which I'm very excited about. And she's exploring doing some work with signature colors for some of the roles that will help us sort of know where we are, whose world we're currently in, and will also help us with things when we're in between what's really happening and some moments where we go into the imagination of Alfie. So all of that will be done through light. For costumes, we have the wonderful Denise Daly. If you saw She Loves Me, she does beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. And no, you can't steal the things. Many people tried. But and she will be helping us to root in period and place and community. On sound, we have the wonderful Mac Flynn, our wonderful unicorn. And our set is being done by Mark Tingle, who is, I believe, building and is he building it?
He's co-building with
co-building it
Sophia.
With Sophia. So so overall, we're not literally trying to reproduce Dublin. It's about transformation and intimacy. So we'll be doing all of those moves with the company making the different places happen, which I'm very excited about. Speaking of the people, this is an ensemble show. Yes, Alfie is our main character, but everybody in the show is integral. There isn't a part in here that is just what I would deem, a lesser role. The show is about community, and it's the ensemble that is going to create that along with the person playing Alfie. So I'm just going to give a little overview of each of the characters. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, awesome. So Alfie, like I said, Dublin bus conductor, amateur theater director. He's all about poetry and Oscar Wilde. He's gentle, funny, optimistic, compassionate. Even though he's holding on to the secret that kind of weighs him down because he can't be his authentic self, or at least he feels like he can't be, he is still a person who is optimistic and who is funny and witty and charming. And he needs to be, because he is our main character. And there's a reason that he draws people into his world, because he has that kind of personality. So that's kind of what we're looking for if you're looking to come out for Alfie. Warmth, humor, vulnerability, resilience, courage are sort of his keywords.
And his age range is 35 to 45, is that what you're looking at?
I'm willing to go a little bit older with that character. It would really depend on there are some characters where the age will depend on the other people playing the other roles.
Sure.
So for instance, Alfie and Lily are brother and sister. So even though, now to be fair, it's an Irish Catholic world, just because we only meet 2 burn children doesn't mean there aren't 12 more. So there might be able to be a little bit of age difference, but if you're coming out for Mrs. Patrick, we want to make sure that when we put a Robbie with you, we're not going, oh, no, or vice versa. So there's a little bit there are a few characters that involve age compatibility. Lily is Alfie's sister. She's practical, outspoken, funny, fiercely protective, very conservative. A warning, she does say some language that is hard for maybe a 26 actor to use and feel comfortable with. We will not be changing that language. So just so you're aware of it. But yeah, she does say a few things where you're like, oh. Yeah. She's looked after Alfie for years. She has definite ideas about what his future should be. And her journey is sort of loving someone enough to let go of the life you've imagined for them and accepting who they actually are. Robbie Fay, he's our handsome young leading man, charming, confident, funny, rough around the edges. He's got a lot of swagger. He's a working class guy, but he is also genuinely friendly and affectionate. He likes Alfie as a friend, but he genuinely likes Alfie, and is the kind of guy who, you know, will hug a friend or do things like that. He is a generally warm and lovely person, even though he's rough around the edges. We have Adele. She's new. She's young, she's warm, she's genuine. She may seem innocent, but she's actually stronger and wiser than anybody initially assumes that she is. She gets welcomed into this new family, and she's all sort of earnestness and hope once she does. We have Carney, Mr. Carney, who is the local butcher and the self-appointed leading man. He is that guy. He's big, theatrical. He loves attention. His definite ideas about theater and life. He's very conservative, and he is ultimately the character who starts the downfall of Alfie and the sentimentalist player, and not because he's a villain, but because he truly believes in his faith and what he has been raised to believe. And that is where he turns to when things get rough. In 1960s, Dublin was a little rough around the edges too, with things that were going on. So he is relying on his faith, and that is what ultimately leads him down the road of shutting things down. Conversely, if you're playing Carney, you're also playing Oscar Wilde, you know, just to toss it up a little bit. And Oscar Wilde is exactly what you imagine. He isn't actually there, but he is the person that Alfie sort of, in his imagination, confides in, and he's witty and elegant and charming, and he encourages Alfie to be his authentic self. And so those two roles are a great contrast. You get to be over the top ridiculous, and at the same time bring this sort of intimacy and wit and charm. So great role. Baldy, he's the stage manager. He's crusty, he's sarcastic. But his late wife was also one. Yeah. Just kidding. Lovely. It's been cast. Yeah. Underneath everything, he loves these people. His late wife was one of the actors in the show. Baldy has a beautiful song where he talks about his wife and sort of what he misses about her. And for him, this company holds his history, his friendships, his memories of his wife. So it's a very comedic, but a really tender role. Although he doesn't have other characters listed with him in the audition notice, everybody plays other roles, with the exception of Alfie, Robbie, Lily, and Adele. Everybody else plays other roles, whether it be a bar patron or, you know, one of the people. I will talk about those other people in a minute. Anyway, they play other roles. Mrs. Patrick gets to sing the wonderful Our Father. She's a wife and a mother. She lives according to the expectations of her faith and community. But underneath, she has been longing for passion and connection. And she finds that with Robbie, our lovely young bus driver. And so she's walking somewhere between duty and desire, which is what Our Father is about. This character has some staged intimacy. So that's something to be aware of if you're thinking of going out for this role, because we do catch her and Robbie in a moment of passion in the show. So something to be aware of. Sorry, spoiler alert. There you go. We have Mrs. Grace, and that is our grande dame of the theater. She's elegant, she's commanding, she can make virtually anything about herself. She's a glorious character, but that character also plays Kitty, the pub owner, who is earthy and worldly wise and all common sense and a little bit of grit. So it's a great opportunity to play two very different women. And a super, super fun role. That's not to pick favorites, but it's one of my favorites. We have Miss Crow. She's gentle, she's timid, she's devoted to the group. She once played Peter Pan and she is living on that forever. And theater gave her her moment to feel extraordinary, and she's carried it ever since. And that's why she's part of this. But she's a very sweet and lovely character, and she gets to do some great stuff trying to figure out Salome's Dance of the Seven Veils and whether snaps or zippers might work. We have Mrs. Curtin. She is a former Dublin music hall child star, and now she's married with 9 children.
Oh, God.
We mentioned Irish Catholic, but when you put her on stage, she comes alive and she gets to reclaim that part of herself before she became a mom. And that's her reason for being there, is to sort of live in that glory and that applause. Because, you know, as a mom, she probably doesn't get quite the applause that she should. We have Rasher Flynn, who also plays the Monsignor. He's a technician. He's good-hearted. He's uncomplicated. He's enthusiastic. And he's fiercely loyal. On the other hand, he gets to play the Monsignor, who actually shuts down the players, who is very much an authority figure and sort of a pressure from the church figure. So again, 2 roles that are very different, that would be a lot of fun to play. If you are playing all these different roles, we get to play with physicality, we get to play with voices, we get to do work to help you bring 2 different characters to the stage in 2 very different ways. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun work. And I know Vic and Janet and I are very much looking forward to diving into that with people. Another real crazy juxtaposition role is Ernie, he's nervous, he's enthusiastic, he's eager to please, he's devoted to Alfie. And this person also plays Breton Beret, who is a rent boy. Do I need to explain rent boy? He's a young gentleman who rents himself out to other men. He's confident, he's streetwise, and he has a couple of brief but pivotal moments with Alfie. And he is the person who ultimately puts Alfie in a position to have to come out. If you were playing Breton Beret, if you were playing any of the male roles in this, who other than, I think, if you were playing any of the other men roles in this, there is a gay bashing scene in the show, which we will be working through very strategically, but at the same time, I'm putting that out there because that may be something that makes people feel very uncomfortable, but there is that in the show, and we will be doing it in the fashion that it needs to be done for the show. And there will be a fight coordinator involved in that. I haven't told you guys that yet, but it's happening. Because if we're going to do that, we have to do it right. I was the stage manager for the Canadian premiere of this show when at the time Acting Upstage Musical Stage did it. And the person who played this role managed to kick the guy playing Alfie in the face 4 times. So we will not be letting that happen. We will make sure that everybody is safe. What was that? No. And I mean, we did fight calls, but so just know that that'll be done. We will be doing proper fight calls, and we will be making sure that everybody will be safe. So if you're playing Alfie, I promise you, nobody will kick you in the head unless you have done something and has nothing to do with what we've skipped. I can't make any promises about your.
To you the next day.
We do have a respectful environment policy, so I do encourage not kicking people in the head. last two characters, Sully and Peter. Sully gets my favorite little monologue in the show. Everybody who's in the Sun Imelda Players gets a little monologue about their theatrical history, and his is just, Sully O'Hara, currently unemployed, making his theatrical debut. Thank you. It's my favorite one in the entire show. But he's unemployed, he's awkward, he's lonely, and he's trying theater for the first time, again, to find connection, to find his people, to find somewhere to belong. But he also plays Peter, who's the janitor at St. Imelda's, who's an aspiring rock musician and who doesn't really have it all worked out yet, and doesn't really understand why people do community theater, but he's a fun character. So you get to be everything from, this lovely sort of quiet man to like a, full scale rocker. And then we have Father Kenny and Carson, and Father Kenny sort of plays the authority figures in Alfie's life. So he's the parish priest. He's a lovely man. He's got some dry humor. He's more compassionate than you initially expect, given what he finds out. And Carson is Alfie's bus company supervisor, and he is rigid, suspicious, likes rules and order, and is generally kind of the head nod was the thing. But two very different authority figures, but both authority figures. Again, this is an ensemble. You heard the things. Nobody has nothing to do in the show. Nobody is going to be a wallflower in this show. There are no throwaway roles. Some people have more lines. Some people have more songs. Some people have more, sort of featured time. But everybody in this show, and they are Alfie's world. And it is important that each one of them is a distinct figure, and that we see how they interact, how they support, how they are part of Alfie's world. So,
So how many in total?
there are 14 in total. 14 people in
I
total.
said we start combining them all. It's like there are 35 characters.
Yeah. There are more characters than I talked about, but
Yeah.
those are sort of the main ones that everybody would be sort of looking at. So all that said, does anybody have any questions about any of the characters? Okay. So let's talk about auditions. First, I'll tell you what I'm looking for in auditions. The biggest thing for me is storytelling. Like, for me, pick a song where you can tell a story. It could be a funny story, it could be a charming story, it could be a weird story. But something where you can tell a story. I don't need you to come in and, stage an entire show before my eyes. I don't need you to add choreography to things. I would love for you to come in, stand, plant yourself, and let me see you tell a story here. Because that for me is they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and they are. And that's how I want to see you tell a story. So if you're confused at all, come in, plant yourself. You can pick a spot behind us. We are also open to, if you want to look at somebody directly and connect that way, this panel is open to that. So you can feel free to do either version in the room, whatever makes you feel more confident. You will not have a bigger cheering section for you than the people sitting at this table. Most of us have been on stage. We are always supportive. We are always hoping that you will come in and you will be the solution to our problem, which is casting the show. We want you to do your best, and we will do our best to make sure that you get to shine in this room while you're here. It's your space while you're here, and we are just here to be your lucky audience for the 8 to 10 minutes that you're spending with us.
100,000 kidneys.
Yeah, that is how I usually describe us, as a basket of kittens. If you're afraid of baskets of kittens, I'm really sorry, I can't help that. You can go with baskets of puppies or tarantulas. I don't know, but whatever makes you happy, Damn it. It was a good dream sequence, Clive. So yeah, so just know that we are here to support you and that we are here just wanting you to come in and have a good time and spend a few minutes with us and just tell us a story. You may get redirects from any of us, really. We sort of all participate in them. Redirects are not pass-fail situations. Redirects are us looking at how you play. So we might ask you to do something that's really in line with the piece you've done and maybe just highlight a piece of it or push something a little further. We might ask you to do something completely outlandish with it that we think will work. We're not trying to set you up for failure here, but and we just want you to take a chance, to try something different, to try and to show us something just a little bit more about yourself. So again, not a pass fail. If you were like, I don't understand what that means. If we give you a redirect and you're like, I don't know what you're looking for, say that. It's okay. we will rephrase it for you so that it makes sense to you. It's okay in this room. This is not us telling you what to do. It's when you're in this room with us, it's a dialogue. So feel free if something is happening and we will let you talk to our audition pianist when you come in. You can let them know what you want. You can let them know how fast you want it. Our audition pianists are wonderful, and if they're playing something and you're like, it's a little slow, sing faster. They'll follow you. I promise they will. They won't try and keep you at their speed. They will go wherever you go. And don't just try that, to go like really fast to see what happens, because that's kind of mean, but
I can jump in for a second. I think on that too, when you come in for an audition to SMT, you're walking and you're scared and everything's wrong and terrible. No, it's a place where the room is filled with joy, where you're your team. And lots of us are teachers, so we appreciate questions. Ask us away. We're open to hear anything that you think might help. Please feel free to just ask. And if you don't get a redirect, that's also not the end of the world. Nothing is terrible if you didn't get to ask something to do something differently. Just might have not happened. Maybe you late that day. So don't.
Maybe we just loved what you did.
Exactly. Maybe you just blew us away.
Yeah.
That's the most important part, is that you come and you show us who you are through your story.
Thank you very much. I like that. Last thing for me, accents. Yes, this show is going to have Dublin accents. Why? Because the songs and the scenes don't scan dialogue-wise unless you're using a Dublin accent, because it was written to be done with a Dublin accent. So, in the audition notice, there is a great video showing you sort of the main points of a Dublin accent, telling you how to place it, how to do it. We're not looking for impenetrable Dublin. We want the audience to understand it. So we're looking for a taste of Dublin. I don't need to see a Dublin accent at the audition. If you've already started working on your stuff and you're like, damn it, Dot, I was going to do it with a Dublin accent, go ahead. But I don't need to see it at your first audition. At the callbacks, however, we'd like to see people at least give it the old college try, and see, so we can see sort of what we're working with, how much time we're going to need to put into accent specific work, and we will work on accents during the rehearsal process. But first auditions, nope. Second callbacks, yes, please. Yeah, so that's it for me from the acting side. Miguel.
For the music.
For the music. The many songs of music, yes.
Well, any questions so far on the acting side of things? Okay, so the music. Stephen Flaherty wrote this giant show, actually. He also, in case you don't know who he is, he wrote Ragtime, Once on This Island, Seussical, Anastasia. pretty massive shows actually. And five with this one really varied. Like he's got an incredible musical style because Susical, like so far from this show. But anyway, and one sound the silent as well. But if you've never heard a recording of this show, it has ragtime vibes, a little bit of Anastasia, Come From Away, because of mainly the accent, but also the Celtic kind of feel, Irishy feel kind of thing. And if you're a fan of Jane Eyre, I've realized today, I was telling Dot, I've listened to this show many, many times now, and there are moments I'm like, this is so reminding me of another show, and I only figured it out today. It's like, it's Jane Eyre. It has a very dark undertone that starts at the beginning and just keeps going. And it's moody music. Jane Eyre has that sort of feel to it all the time, dark, always sort of like a wave beating on a rock kind of thing all the time. So it's beautiful music. It's completely acoustic. So before we dive into like the audition stuff, it's keyboard, reed one, which is mainly flute, like a bunch of different flutes, including Irish flute, violin, cello, bass, acoustic bass, and guitar. That's it. That's all the show is. The keyboard plays things like church pipe organ. Obviously, we're in church. They play a lot of like Celtic-y sounds, maybe a whale sound once in a while. So throw it in there just for a little homage for. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So man of no importance. Things to consider for your audition, because it's not a jukebox musical, it's not a Sondheim, it's not a Golden Age. It's kind of a tricky show to find an adjacent show to sort of like, what music can I steal from to showcase my vocals? So what I'll say is this: come in with a song that really just suits your voice really well. That is probably not, as long as it's not an ultra pop song or a Disney song, because none of the show is poppy or Disney.
Pot of Kanye.
So it's, you know, something ballady might be great. I don't want to say like try to go and find a Stephen Flaherty song, but you know, because it's so limiting. You're not going to find anything really in Susical to showcase. You know what I mean? So
At Anastasia, then you just said that these.
well, that might be an exception. I'm not saying no to Anastasia, but like it's not your Disney princess show. That's all I mean. Like if there is a Disney song that you feel would suit this, by all means, like I wouldn't say no to that.
Maybe
But,
for Adele, but that's.
yeah.
That's
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. It is a tricky one. It's not like I don't know. It's not a Golden Age musical where you can go to like 10 other shows and steal something that's sort of adjacent. So pick something you're really comfortable singing. Maybe it's something you already know, and that's fine. Please don't pick anything from this show. We will, in the callback, we will give you a variety of, depending on the character, we'll give you something to sing from the show. Yes.
So what's something, maybe if there's a show that we know that has a similar kind of suite of instruments available, maybe not exactly Come From Away, but if I do a couple of mine, that's something more fit like that would.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe one or two, yes, that would be
Absolutely.
kind of appropriate.
Even a folk song, if you feel like if it's kind of up
Crack
the
that
alley.
great big scene almost, or.
Sure, I could see there are some popular songs that might fit the genre really well. Like I'm not, nothing comes to mind right now, but like I think you might actually be able to find something if that's up your alley. Yeah. So I'm not saying no to that. I'm just in general really what's happening here. Okay. Please prepare 2 songs. Typically one song, full song that you really like and you're super comfortable with. And a second song, 16 to 32 measures. As a second song, some people ask like, why is that me? Am I hearing myself? Okay.
Yes and no, it's Olivia.
A second song, in the event that your first song doesn't quite hit the mark, and it's not because it was you sang it poorly or you didn't understand the song, it's just sometimes we'll say, what was your second song? We're like, hey, actually, there's something in that song that we might be able to pull that's more adjacent to a character we see you as. And so don't think like my first song really sucked and it didn't work.
Yeah.
It really has nothing to do with that. Sometimes we even just say, can we hear your second song? Because that's a great song too. And we just want to hear a variety. You can pick like a ballad and an up-tempo thing, or you can vary it up if you'd like. You can try to find music that's character driven, for the character that you're interested in. This is a tricky show to do that because the characters are kind of, it's sort of an A character and a B character, so it's really hard to do that. So just honestly bring a song that you're comfortable with.
We may use redirects to try and pull a little flavor of the character that you've said, this is the one I'm interested in.
Well,
So that may be how we use redirects.
say that you like the characters are diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you get two really completely different characters. So that's-
Exactly.
So having that second song will give us an opportunity, like, let's hear that. Let's hear something opposing. Try to memorize your music. It really helps to just play with the music, especially if we say, can you do that in an up tempo? Or can you make that up tempo song into a ballad? We'll make it like half the speed and just go with it. I know it might feel super weird, but we're just trying to get something out of you, something different that we see a glimmer of something. And we're like, let's try to find something more. And that's all that redirect is about. Make sure the music is in the key that you would like to sing in. There have been times when they're like, oh, that's not the key I practiced in. So please make sure, talk to a piano player if you're not familiar, or, send me an email. Send me the music, I can play you a little bit of the key and be like, is this the key that you want? If not, we can figure out what the key is supposed to be. We talked about a redirect. Who are we sending music to? I forgot to ask you this, because it used to be David Lowe.
Well, for the Tuesday, we're sending it to Sam and Luke. And then for the Friday, Saturdays, it's gonna be David and Luke.
So those names are on
And they're already
the,
on the response.
awesome,
the
okay.
emailing back.
I didn't see that, I didn't look at that. So send the music to the appropriate accompanist. We have a couple of different people playing. We weren't able to secure the same pianist for the whole audition process. If you need to cut your music to accommodate time, please do so. You don't have to sing music of the night 12 verses. It's fine. The last 10 are the same as the first two.
Meadowlark is a great song. We don't need to hear it all. We get it.
So, all right, for your music, please bring in your sheet music in a binder, hole punched, double-sided. Please don't do the accordion thing and don't bring individual sheets. They do fall off the piano, and that will just fluster the piano player. So do yourselves a favor. We want to help you have a great audition. So 3-hole punch, double-sided, put it in the appropriate order. Any cuts you're making to the music, you'll have a moment to speak to the piano player and say, please jump from here to here. I'm cutting this ending, or go straight to the ending from here, like whatever. And they'll make that happen. Okay. I'm gonna sort of move in a slightly different direction here. Some of you might be wondering if we've never worked together. I don't know who's online, but if we've never worked together, and I know everybody here actually. But if we've never worked together, you might be thinking, how do you work as a music director in the process? So you don't need to know how to read music in the show, to be in the show, excuse me. I'm experienced in working with people who have music degrees and come in and know their music from day one, to people who are, this might as well be Greek on a page. Totally fine. We do a lot of repetition and learning by rote for people like that, so it's okay. Bring your phone, record your music as we go. Our rehearsal pianist can pluck out your part, your harmonies, and we can take it home to practice. We'll try to create some rehearsal tracks if that's a necessity. We typically learn the music first, then we move into the scenes, scene work and choreo. There isn't a lot of choreo. It's not anything goes. But there are moments, there will be a few moments of choreo, so typically we learn the music first so that you can understand how the choreo will fit in with the words. It's typically a better process to learn the music. We will repeat this many times before we even go into the theater. Flexibility with singing, I always like to know what your interpretation of the song is and work together, because I'm not the one on stage, you'll be the one on stage. So I'm very flexible in how do you hear this music, how do you feel this music, and with the character, what's the backstory, that sort of thing. So I want to work with whoever I have to work with to make sure that we work in tandem to make something really beautiful. It's not my way or the highway. It's a two-way street for everything. And Dot and I have worked together, all of us have worked together a long time. We have a very similar approach to making sure that it's something that's also you and not just, this is the creative team's vision and none of this is part of.
Ultimately,
So,
you guys are the people on stage. And it's important that whatever way we are telling a story, that it makes sense and it comes through you, or else it doesn't have the honesty that we want it to have. So there's always room for a discussion. If you're being asked to do something that doesn't make sense to you or you don't agree with, let's talk it out. Don't feel like you can't approach on that, because again, two-way street needs to make sense to both of us.
The last couple of things, the band is live on stage. If you've seen our theater, there's like a proscenium that kind of goes into the back. So the band will sort of be from proscenium back, more or less, right? Something like that.
I'm trying to see if I can get them all
Yeah.
more out, but yeah.
Basically, something like that. So it's a really cool live experience that we're gonna try to create. And it's a completely acoustic experience, which is really.
Wasn't legally blonde when they're like.
Only 12? What is happening online?
Nothing.
Oh, is it me?
So some words of encouragement, before I go.
Yes,
Okay.
I lost Dot completely. I have a cat.
Oh, Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
oh,
Yeah, same.
shoot,
And
okay.
we lost Miguel as well. Miguel's missing. Nope. Yeah, I can't hear you at all, Sherry. You're on mute.
If you can hear, hold on 1 second.
Hold on, technical difficulties we're
Okay.
trying to correct. Okay, there's Dot.
There she is.
Oh.
Okay.
Gave us a thumbs up.
Okay, excellent.
Did you guys hear anything about the music or was that off?
Heard most of it actually. It was just you just started to say a couple more things and then you were.
Oh, they're not. Can somebody online talk?
Hello, I'm talking. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Excellent,
Yeah.
yes.
Miguel, the last thing we heard you say was you were saying it was acoustic and it's going to be wonderful. The very
Oh,
end of
okay,
it. We got most of your speech.
Awesome, awesome.
I'll say, what was I gonna say? Oh, if you make a lyric mistake, a note mistake, who cares? Just keep it going. We probably don't even notice or care. We really just wanna see what you bring to life, to the stage. Everybody makes mistakes, even live theater. So don't leave here thinking, oh, I screwed up the lyric, or I went higher than I should have been, lower. Probably won't matter. We just really want to hear the style and the passion behind what you're singing. And so we're your champions. If you are not satisfied with what you've done, you don't want me to leave here out that door going, that was a terrible audition. I wish I had another go at it.
if you're going to leave the room thinking that, stop yourself before you leave and say, I'd really love to redo that song.
Yeah.
And we'll hear it again.
Biggest cheerleaders.
It's not another 2 or 3 minutes that will, you know, derail everything.
Yeah.
We really want you to leave here in a positive mindset and thinking you did something great and you gave it your all. And so if you're unsatisfied, please let us know. We don't want you leaving here thinking that you didn't do your best.
Yeah.
Any questions? Yes, John.
Before the past, and again, not to be presumptuous or anything like that, but before in the past, you put a callback material for me. Give people a chance to say, this is what I'm interested in, I'm so lucky to get a call back. Will you be doing that again, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Janet, I'm going to talk about callbacks and then we're going to go to choreography. Just because we've had a question. No. It's
Sorry, 1 second. Where's, can you please repeat the question?
Oh, online.
so the question was, typically we normally put callback material online before the callbacks, before you even find out if you get a callback, so that you have the opportunity. For instance, if you're a person who doesn't read music and you really want to be Robbie Faye, you can take that music to like your vocal coach or to a friend who plays piano to help you with it so that you can get a head start in case you are called back for that role. Yes, we will be doing that. Hopefully things will be online by the end of this week coming. One thing about callbacks, or 2 things about callbacks, we do callbacks in an open callback environment. What does that mean? It means that everybody who's up for the same role as you will be in the room together, but anybody who's called back is welcome to come and watch the entire thing if they want. That may sound intimidating. Honestly, it makes for a really supportive, really energized room. It gives you somebody to play off who's not the panel, who's sitting there wildly taking notes. And for us, it gives us a chance to see your St. Imelda's players' vibes. How do you support the other people in the room? How are you giving to them? So that's part of it. The other thing is you do not have to memorize your callback material, but I highly recommend that you know it enough that you do not have to do this. Because if you have to do that, then with the page in front of your face, then we can't see your face. And like I said before, that's how you tell a story. We want you to be able to interact with your scene partners should you have scenes as part of your callback. Every role is being called back. There is no role that is not being called back in this show. So you want to be able to interact with your fellow people, and you want us to be able to see what you're doing up there, because that's what's important. If you don't have it memorized and you flub a line, that's okay. This is not a final performance. If you end up in the show, you will hear me say this phrase a lot, and thus we rehearse. Because we are going to take chances in this room. We're going to try stuff. We're going to do stuff. Sometimes it's going to be great, and sometimes it's going to suck. And we're going to be okay with that, because that's what rehearsals are for. So we play and we do things and we find the gold so we can put the gold on stage. So if you flub it a little bit in the callback room, you will also always be asked, do you want to try it again? Does anybody want to get up and give it another go? We will always allow for that. So if you feel like you didn't give it all, that's your opportunity to do it. And again, you will have a big cheerleading chorus of these folks here. Janet.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Oh, sorry. Hold on one sec.
Before we move on to these pictures, no questions online. Is it anybody online have questions about what we've heard so far?
So the cool camera thingy in the middle does not seem, it seems to be just focused on you right now.
Yeah, because we had to take it away. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Janet.
Hello. Hi again. Hi. I'm sorry I can't be there. It's lovely to see all of you people, even online here. I am the choreographer, as you know. If you've worked with me before, you should know how I work. I like to, just talking about the show part of it first. I like to work quickly, but I open to all questions. I will repeat things as often as it needs to be repeated. I break everything down as so that you can understand what I'm saying in normal words and sometimes dance words. As you said, this is not a dance show. This is not anything goes or crazy for you or any of that. But any choreography that is in the show, its intention is to move the show along. So there's no big dance breaks. There's no, that's what the choreography in the show is about. I imagine some of them in particular, the bus traveling on the buses, which at the very beginning, long number. That bus we're hoping is going to be moving around with the help of the cast. Still working out the logistics of that, but I think I've pretty well got it. About the dance call, you've hopefully all seen the video. If you haven't, it's short and sweet. I will be breaking it down at the audition, and it's really just to have fun. And it's just for me, certainly there's no make or break with this at all. Just for I get an idea of your level of expertise. This show, as we said, it's St. Imelda's community basement church type dancing. So that's all I want to see what you can do, see how you pick it up, and just have fun. So that's really my main thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. And if you want to learn the words to the Wellerman song, feel free. We might be singing along with it while we're doing it.
Awesome.
So thanks, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thanks.
Any questions?
No.
No? Oh, good. Awesome. I will see you.
Thank you.
If you leave here and you think in the middle of the night and you have a question, if you are watching the recording and you think you have a question, just email the auditions email and it will be answered.
I actually had a question.
Mhm.
Working on shows. Like,
Yeah.
Anybody else on the panel? Oh, okay, so you're not special.
No, it's kind of nuts, actually. I got a little bit, we got a bit of that last year. And they're so similar, I get them confused all the time.
Well, Cole Porter's very
Cole
Celtic.
Porter,
Very
Celtic.
Um,
Anybody else? Sorry.
No monologue.
no monologue.
Okay.
Story.
That's the storytelling through the song.
Aspect.
I just also want to bring up
For you.
about conflicts.
Oh, yes. One of the things you were going.
Hi. One of the things that you're going to be asked to do as part of the audition process is to fill out an online form. And one of the things on the form is your conflicts. So what we're going to ask is if you put conflicts down on there, please don't add to them. Because we are going to be using your conflicts from that form to build a rehearsal schedule. And it is really, really hard to, like, we're talking about 14 people plus artistic staff that we have to move around because, again, this is an ensemble piece. We love you all, but if you are looking at your schedule and you're like, I can't do Mondays, I'm sure that'll be fine. It won't. Because again, this is very much an ensemble show. It moves really quickly between pieces, and we're going to want to block and run things numerous times to get the flow of this. So we know, I'm not saying you can't have conflicts, like, but if you think that you're like, I can't be here for most of, I don't know, January, that's probably not okay. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because the show needs the group of people, our community, to come together and to be here in the room as often as possible. So please be honest with your conflicts. Having some conflicts is not gonna make or break. Having a lot of conflicts might. So I just want to be upfront and honest about that.
So people online can't hear when there's a question from our live audience. So you may have missed our friends online. It was confirmed there is no monologue before Dot's conversation about conflict. There is no monologue. It's just your songs and playing with that and the dance, but no monologue. Thank you for letting us know that you couldn't hear.
Any other questions online or in the house? Move along. So I'm just gonna go over quickly, membership and production hours, if you do get cast in the show. So if you are cast in an SMT show, you have to be a member of SMT. Pay a membership fee if you're not already a lifetime member. So for the middle show, your single paid fee is $30, or your family membership is $60. And that'll get you from then until the end of the year, which is be August 31st. And with that, you get 2 complimentary tickets. 4 half-price tickets to the opening night of any Theatre Scarborough main stage show. Complimentary entry to the member for any SMT show where seats still exist 10 minutes prior to a curtain. Can attend the adjudication, public or private, for your shows. A monthly newsletter and news blast. Pre-notice and booking for auditions, workshops, and I'm not sure what that last word is.
There's something else. Yeah, this will be
Camps.
So there's a question before about whether or not it can be adjudicated as part of the ACO festival. That's not been decided by the board, my guess is yes. But it should probably be figured out by the September meeting. So we'll know for sure sooner rather than later. I think we're waiting to find out who the adjudicators are, because I've had some experiences where. Yeah. It's because
Don't go, not me.
where it's been place. We do shape agro festival and everything that they do, and the educational portion of it, but at the same time, you want to make sure that if we're taking part in it, that it is actually going to be an educational experience. So that is a TBA. Or TED.
To be determined.
It's one of the T's.
To be determined, to be advised.
Stay tuned.
The shows that have some show good. It's not
So anyway, if you are a member of SMT, you can also attend SMT Board of Directors meetings, annual general meetings, and any special general meetings. And can vote at the annual general meetings and special general meetings if you are a single family or life member. And then if you have an agent, we will also give complimentary tickets to your agents to attend the shows. If you're also cast in the show, you are expected to do production hours of 10 hours or more. More would be great. Doing production hours, it could be anything from assisting the carpenters, building the set, doing props, helping the designers, assisting with sound and lighting setups, organizing program bios and photos, or doing the social committee work, which is an amazing task, and social media takeovers and more. So there's various ways to get your 10 production hours, and we will be happy to take suggestions from you. Also, merchandise and stuff.
And you can brag about your contributions for life. I'm still bragging about something and I wasn't even in a cast.
So that's it for membership and production hours. Volunteers, Jamie.
So I just wanted to say, on behalf of the SMT board, as the executive producer for this show, I just wanted to thank you for your interest in this poignant and heartfelt production. If after you leave this info night and realize auditioning for the show isn't possible, but you'd still like to be involved, or if you know someone who would, we'll be looking for volunteers to help bring this production to life. Volunteer opportunities may include assisting with the set building, set painting, props, light walk once the production moves into the theater, potentially backstage as a member of the crew and or hair and makeup team, Time period would be end of November through February. Time commitment for any of these things varies depending on the role. And set building, set painting, and light walk opportunities are generally available on the evenings and weekends, with some daytime opportunities depending on when the work takes place. You can help out as you're able. Backstage and hair and makeup, these potential roles require a greater time commitment before, during the run of the show. Our producers, Sherry and Shannon, would be happy to speak with any interested volunteers about what would be involved. For high school students, if there's anybody online who knows of a high school student or is online and is a high school student who needs volunteer hours, volunteering on the production can count towards your required volunteer hours for your graduation. So if you know someone who would be interested in volunteering, please contact Shannon and Sherry through the audition email address or speak with them at the end of you. Thank you.
So I think that concludes our evening, unless there's any other questions that come to mind in person, online.
What's the
Yes.
current availability for audition? I currently Tuesday is complete.
No, I do have a couple spots available now on Tuesday.
The question was more was what is the availability like for auditions?
I'd like to get a Saturday time off.
Saturday is easy.
So Tuesday is really tough, very, very much so. So Friday and Saturday are the sort of the best options of the river, those slots left on the Tuesday.
Should be in the difference location.
Yeah, that's perfect. So if you are on a Tuesday audition, your audition will be at the theater. So please make note of that from your confirmation from Sherry. If you're auditioning any other day, you will come here.
And it'll be all spelled out in your confirmation emails.
And if you have questions on the day before you get here or returned, just message, and better to ask the question than to show up at the wrong place, right? We would hate to miss you.
We are very much in our works to questions on your group. So if you have a question, even if we're like, oh my gosh, should I ask it?
Because somebody else is thinking the same thing. So
I'd like to ask, has anyone in the audience ever left an audition and thought, oh, I don't want to do that? I can't, like, everyone wants to do it again, don't they? Like, one more time, well, no, that was right.
Yeah, he's thinking you nailed it. It's like, okay.
So for those online, chaos has ensued in the room.
These people are.
last call for questions. Anybody online? Is there anybody online who has not yet booked an audition who would like to book an audition this evening?
No.
If that's true, please stay on, and then Sherry will take your auditions. Audition times. If there's anybody. There's gonna be a person who would like to go for audition. Please be paid to fill out the issue. So yeah, thank you again for joining us.